Good morning, friends and neighbors. My name is Ron Perry, aka Just Another Modeler. And I was uploading a video over here on my YouTube, and I thought to myself, hey Ron, why don't you tell them how you make your own thumbnails? So I wanted to share with everybody what it is that I do to make my thumbnails so that my videos are more tasty for people to click at the end of the video, you know, for suggested videos. Because, you know, making a thumbnail for your video is probably the most important thing that you can do. Now, I tried to have this conversation once live on the air, and the second I started talking about it, I was slammed by somebody saying they didn't have thousands of dollars for a program to do it. Now, I was never going to suggest anybody spend a dime. And, I just shut my mouth that day. And I figured to myself, if you guys don't want to know how to do this, you just keep it to you just learn yourself. But it's been probably about half a year, maybe a year later, and I figure it's time. You know what? They're still not making thumbnails, so maybe it's time for me to show you how. So this is called Gimp. Gimp is open source. Where's the does it say it? I don't know where it says it. Anyways, the thing that tells me that this is free is the fact that you can download it and then install it and use it. I don't know. It's totally free to me. So go to gimp.org/downloads. You probably want to click on this one. If you know what a BitTorrent is, then awesome. Click this link right here, get the full download. Let it download, install on your Windows, Mac, Linux PC. Gimp works on all of them, and if you don't know what those operating systems are, I guarantee you that it'll work on yours, unless you're using a phone or a Chromebook. Well, I can't tell you about iPhone. I seriously doubt iPhone. But on the computer, Windows, I'm using it. So, I should get out of there. We shouldn't be using that. So, actually, let's go back, make a new tab. And, so I'm doing a video on scenery. Oops, not video. Let's, get a picture of, scenery. That's easy. So in scenery, we go to images. Over here, we go to search tools. We grab size. We find large. Usage rights. We want to labeled for non-commercial use. Labeled for reuse. Doom. So now we got these beautiful pictures. They're licensed for you to use on the interweb because they've tagged it so. So this would be just way too beautiful. I don't. But look at all the options here. There's so many options. Okay, so let's just use this one. Get rid of this screen. We'll view the image. View image. Oh, it wants us to download it right away. So I got a thumbs folder on my desktop where I put all my thumbs into. So we'll download that. Go into our thumbs folder. There's our picture right there. Open with Gimp. Now, I have all my fonts installed. However, if you don't have your fonts installed, the second you open Gimp, it's going to load all the fonts that are already on your computer. So if you want a different font, it's not going to show up in this list right now. So let's go over here and go Railroad font or something like that. Now, a good site that I like to use for fonts is called DaFont. See? DaFont. Rail fonts. I don't really trust any other font space because, you know, you never know what they are. And the deal is that you're not going to get viruses from these sites. You're going to get malware. And the malware is not for stealing your information or anything like that. It's for trying to pay for their fonts, you know, kind of like how Yahoo does and all those other sites that try to get you to put the Yahoo bar on. Well, whatever. So this is our Railroad font. We download it. I'm going to demonstrate this. Going to download it to my thumbs folder. It's just a small file. I click on it. Now I have WinRAR, which you can get at rarlabs.com. It'll be forever used in its demo form. Don't worry about it. You don't ever have to pay for it. They don't want you to. The only reason they want you to pay for it is if you want to make your own RAR files or zip files or multi-part files. You know, if you've got a 30 gigabyte video that won't upload somewhere or something like that, you could split it into 50 files. Whatever. Double click on the file. It'll bring up your TrueType installation screen. Press install. Once this little screen goes, it's installed. So this is called IFC Railroad. So let's get rid of this. Get rid of this. And we don't have a font installed here called IFC Railroad just yet. So we have to close everything in Gimp. That's not there right now. I don't know why it's there. So we'll go back to our thumbs folder. Double click on our open our image in Gimp again, and as you can see right here, it's loading up the fonts. This may take a while, and because we just put in the IFC font, it's going to search through that folder and hold us up for a second. But once that is all done, it'll start up again. Now, the kinds of fonts that I like to use are very blocky and very bold. I don't like to use very stringy letters, kind of like our IFC font here. However, you know, there are ways to make these fonts look more, it's easier to see them in the very small YouTube view. And that's the way you've got to think about it for making your YouTube thumbnails, is you want to make your text viewable at the smallest size. We're having a problem here. I think it's because of our desktop recorder. Anyway, so let's go full screen on this. Brushes and layers. So we got that over here. We need to open up our tools, our selection tools, paint tools, transform tools. Well, there it is. Toolbox. Bring the toolbox. I like to bring it over here. So we gotta grab. We're gonna make a text onto this file. So we're gonna click this little A, and we're gonna go into this list, and we're gonna go up to IFC because that was the font that we downloaded. IFC, I see it. IFC Railroad Bold. Now, what is a color that can be seen on the everywhere? It's yellow. So I'm going to, okay, so with 18 font point, that's real small. So I'm going to give it 500 font points. And I'm going to put down advanced. Well, that was a little bit too much, wasn't it? So to reduce our text, we have to select it all. And then we just press the down button until it gets to the size we want. Now that's the size I want. I'm going to use the move tool over here. this 4-point cross. Move our advanced over here. Now, this is not going to work for us in the way that it stands. So what do we want to do? We want to first get this text right in the middle. So we're going to click this alignment tool. Align to the center of the target. I used to know how to do this. There it is. That's in the center. Okay. Back to our font tool. We have our advanced select in our layers over here. We're going to go up to filters, lights and shadows, down to drop shadow, because we want to add a bit of depth in between our text here and the sun up here. Now pay attention, because these settings will apply all the way across all your thumbnails. So we want to put an offset of the color, because it's going to be the same size as the sentence below, and if we put one behind it, it's just going to be hidden by the font in front of it. So we're going to put 10. That means it's going to be offset 10 pixels lower and 10 pixels to the right. Our blur radius, I want to make it 10 pixels. And then our opacity, I want to go to 100%. Now this is going to give us a very hard edge on our text, but as you can see, it really separates between the sun and the A and the D. So that's basically our tutorial, boys and girls. Okay, once again, we're going to take our font, make sure it's on IFC Railroad Bold. We're going to give it a color of yellow. We're going to write down Scenery Clinic. For our second line, that's going to go down at the bottom. We're going to highlight the whole word by triple clicking, and then we're going to increase our font number until it's the size that we want. That's pretty good for me. So now I want to move this to the middle. It kind of looks, actually kind of up here looks pretty good to me. Yeah, that looks good, I think. Yeah. So now if I go up to my filters, light and shadow, drop shadow, all the settings that I used prior, 10, 10, 10, 100, are there. Scenery Clinic has this drop shadow. This thumb looks pretty good. Now we got to get it to a size for YouTube. So 1920 by 1080 is pretty good. Okay? That's actually the size that you want. So what do you do if your size is like 4000 with a different height? That doesn't work. So what I would do from 4000 is I would only change the width down to 1920. In this case, that way the proportions go down, or that way your sizes go down proportionally. Next, when you want to cut the size of your image, go to canvas size. And that way we could cut off 100 pixels or so, but make sure the chain isn't connected. That way it doesn't connect or change your sizes proportionally. You want your sizes to be changed to exact sizes, and that'll crop the image properly. So there you go, guys, another episode in the bag. Please like and subscribe, and if you know somebody who needs great thumbnails, send them this video. Talk to you later, guys.